Module 1, Session 6 of Introduction to Data Structure. So, as we all know, these are the three classifications of array. Array is classified into one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array, and multi-dimensional array. So, one-dimensional array is already done. We have seen different operations of one-dimensional array also. Now let us just glance what is two-dimensional array and multi-dimensional array. So two-dimensional array, if you have only one index, that means either row or column. If you have either horizontal set of elements or vertical set of elements, then I can tell it as one-dimensional array. But suppose if you have both horizontal as well as vertical set of elements, then I can tell it as two-dimensional array. That means you will be having row as well as column both in the two-dimensional array. We need to denote it using two different indices. One is row index and one more is column index. So I can represent this one-dimensional array as data type, which data type actually it belongs to, then the array name, specified array name, then row size and column size. So this is the structure of two-dimensional array. You can see it as a matrix. The matrix is the best example for two-dimensional array. Now if I have row indices, row 0, row 1 and row 2, and column index, column 1, column 2, column 0, column 1, 2, 3 and 4. Here how you can represent it? Mark of 0, 0. This is an example for mark array. So mark of 0, 0. 0, 0 represent row and this 0 represent column. Here mark of 0, 1. That means 0 represent the row and 1 represent the column. 0, 2, 0, 3. If you consider second row, mark of 1, 0, mark of 1, 1, like that it will continue. So for example, this is how you can declare this particular array now. Mark of 3, 5. That means you will be having 3 rows and 5 columns. This is how we can declare the two-dimensional array. Now what do you mean by multi-dimensional array? In two-dimensional array you will be having row as well as column. But in multi-dimensional array, such two-dimensional array, such n number of two-dimensional array will be there. So if you consider this is one two-dimensional array, right? Such 3 two-dimensional arrays are there. So this is row 1, row 2, row 3, column 1, column 2, column 3. There are 3 rows, 3 columns. So I have declared it as 3, 3, right? How many such arrays are there? 3 such arrays are there. So this is the number of how many arrays are there, that you need to specify over here. This is how you can declare the multi-dimensional array. So you can see here, this is array 1, array 2 and array 3. So total 3 arrays are there, that I need to specify. So what is this actual size of this multi-dimensional array? We can calculate the size by multiplying these 3 things. 3 into 3 into 3. Total 27 elements you can include into the multi-dimensional array. Now what do you mean by polynomials? So the next concept comes polynomial. So polynomial, it is a combination of exponent and coefficient. So we have two different representation of polynomials. One is structure consisting of an array and array of structures. There are two different representation of polynomials. We will see each of these. First one is structure consisting of an array. I'll take an example for polynomial. 4x cubed plus 6x square plus 7x plus 9. So what will happen? This is the coefficient of the polynomial. 4 is the coefficient, 3 is the exponent of that particular term. This is one term of the polynomial. This is one more term of the polynomial. Like that we have 4 different terms of polynomial. So here coefficient is 4, exponent is 3, coefficient is 6, exponent is 2, coefficient is 7, exponent is 1, x to the power 1, and here coefficient is 9 and x to the power 0. 0 is the exponent. Now, if any term is not present, suppose you don't have this term, 6x square is not there, then what will happen? 4x cube plus 7x plus 9. Then I can represent it, this square term, as 0. So in the place of second index I will put the 0. Okay. So how can I represent this? The same polynomial I have represented over here. So 0, coefficient exponent 0 is 9, exponent 1 is 7, exponent 2 is 6, exponent 3 is 4. So these are the coefficient you have, these are the exponents. So how can I write the structure for that particular polynomial? So in order to write the structure, you need to define a maximum degree. Maximum degree is, I will take it as 101. So I can have until x to the power 101. Okay. So that defined structure I have defined, and then coefficient, I need to declare a number as coefficient with the maximum degree and degree, both degree in the sense exponent. Okay, so coefficient and exponent both you need to define in the structure, and I had given the structure name as polynomial. So next, array of structures. So how can I represent the polynomial using array of structure? One drawback of this structure consisting of an array is, suppose you have a term like this, a of x is equal to 2x to the power 1000 plus 1. So what will happen? You are going to create an array which is having 0 to 999, right? Which is having 0 to 999. So you are starting from 0th position. So exponent is 1. 1 will be written over here, and then everything will be blank, zeros. All other fields, that is 2, 3, 4, etc. till 998, you will be filling with the zeros, and then you are going to fill this 2 over here, right? So what will happen now is, now when you are doing like this, so many blank spaces are there. So wastage of memory will be happening in this particular case, structure consisting of an array. So instead of that, if you want to avoid that particular thing, we are going to go for array of structure concept. In the array of structure, what I am going to do is, I will take two different arrays. One is coefficient and one more is exponent. So in the previous one, we had taken exponent as the index, right, and coefficient as the array element. But here what we are going to do, we are going to take separate two arrays. One is coefficient, one more is exponent. So when you are going to write the coefficient of arrays like this. So for the first one, for A, you have 2 and 1. I have written it as it is, and in the place of exponent, I will return its exponent 1000, and this one's exponent is 0. So I have written like this. Now this is starting of A and finishing of A. Now you have one more polynomial B. So start B. B coefficient is 1, 1 and 4 is the exponent, 10 and 3 is the exponent, 3 and 2 is the exponent, 1 and 0 is the exponent. Finish the B. Next again, if you have C, you can include it over here. So these avail is nothing but the available space which are there, more spaces are there, right? So what I have done now, within 5 indices I have finished 2 different polynomials. But in the previous structure, what will happen, within 1000 I can define only one polynomial, right? Within 1000 locations I can define only one polynomial, which is very space consuming. So these are the two different structures of polynomials. So I hope the concept is clear for you. We will meet in the next session. Thank you.